This is Matrix Lord 212, and I want to discuss the Weeping Angels, the characters that were created by Stephen Moffat for Doctor Who. Now, as seen in The End of Time Part 2, Rassilon discusses a vote that needs to be cast for if Gallifrey and the Time Lord should return to Earth. And this was passed on to be judged by the Weeping Angels of Old and another race. Now, notice how they say the Weeping Angels of Old. This is a really, really important key piece of history because it turns out why would the Time Lords allow the Weeping Angels of Old to vote concerning matters of Gallifrey? Well, here's the thing that we really don't realize. We need to look back at the episode of Blink to really figure out who the Weeping Angels are. Notice how they appear to be stone statues, and as the Doctor describes, when they touch you, you're distorted in time. You go backwards in time, and they use that time energy. Now, if you look at them, they can't move, but then if you don't, they can move. And if they look at each other, they can't move at all. It looks to me like something that goes back to Greek mythology, like Medusa in a way, because I guess Medusa was cursed, where she had, I guess she was at one point in time she was very, very beautiful, and she was cursed by the gods that anybody that would look at her would turn to stone. But that being said, it could be that the Time Lords. The Weeping Angels were really probably a religious sect that was on Gallifrey. Now, keep in mind, like with our time, on our world, we have many different religions, many different races, many different people on planet Earth. But on Gallifrey, there was probably a lot of different factions of groups on Gallifrey. You got the one faction that took the Master and made him look into the untempered schism, which made him become like evil and hear the drums. You have another faction where you had the monk that was practicing pure peace on Gallifrey, on the mountains, and that was the Doctor's mentor. Okay, so that was like a peaceful aspect. Many different sides to Gallifrey. You see the Weeping Angels, believe it or not, in The End of Time Part 2, because they are Time Lords. They are Time Lords that they cover their face like this for whatever reason. They're a religious, I'm thinking they're a religious part of the Time Lord society, and at some point in time, I believe, majority of them were punished by the head Time Lords, and they were transformed into what we see now, statues, hideous, ugly statues, and I guess they became monstrous, and the thing is you got to understand something too. What would be the purpose behind touching someone and distorting them in time? And that's the whole thing. And if you notice from the very beginning that we see in Blink episode, the Doctor is very careful as to not let anybody cross their time stream. Okay, when the cop was touched, okay, he could have very easily interfered with his own childhood, his own timeline, but the Doctor had spoken to him and he said, all right, at this exact time, you have to be here, you'll be here in the hospital, this is what's going to happen. The Doctor knew what was going on. Okay, so my thing is, I think that the whole purpose of the Weeping Angels is to distort someone in time so that way they meet their younger self, and when they touch each other, they create the cracks in the skins of the universe, which is the crack that's in the 11th hour. Okay, and every single time this has been happening, the Doctor's been preventing this in a way, not like probably subconsciously, really. But I do think that the Weeping Angels will touch Amy Pond, and she will just accidentally bump into her younger self and create the cracks. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, well, the TARDIS created the cracks. The TARDIS didn't create the cracks, and here's why. Why would the first crack appear in Amelia Pond's bedroom? Okay, the crack would first appear where it was created, in her bedroom, and that's exactly where it was created, because an Amy Pond and Amelia Pond touch in that very same room that start the cracks. Okay, the TARDIS merely was used by some unforeseen foe to magnify the effects of the cracks, where it would happen at a lot faster pace. Okay, and the Pandorica was used to seal those cracks. Okay, so that's the whole thing. But the Weeping Angels, I do believe, are from Gallifrey. I think they are Time Lords, and they have been punished. Now we do see some remain. Like it was alluded that was the Doctor's mother, that was going like this. But most of them, I think, were turned that way by the Time Lords. Okay, so that's what I really believe are the Weeping Angels. I think they were a religious sect, sort of like the Silence, which I'm going to make another video about the Silence too, because I find them very interesting as well. I think that the Weeping Angels were a religious sect that were exiled by the Time Lords and created into that form. Alright? So leave your comments below and please subscribe. And I'm going to be back with the Silence video too.